All right, this is what's interesting to us this morning, brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports. If you are looking for the original motorcycle, the Indian motorcycle, all you have to do is go down to Grand Prix Motorsports. They are located off of County Line Road and
Santa Fe.
All right, this is the time of year where football fans cannot get enough of Mel Kiper Jr.,
Yeah.
Todd McShay,
I heard him this morning on the radio.
Mike Mayock.
Your boy.
I want to hear your big boards point 8.0. I want to see who the Broncos are going to pick. Why do we give these guys so much credit, and why do we hang on their every
Well,
word?
and Troy wrote a fascinating piece this past year about the website Pro Football Focus.
Right.
I mean, this is a site that they'll break down a game. They'll say Von Miller was a negative 2.0 or a positive 3.5 in a particular game, and like you're saying, we just run with it. But Troy pointed out, like, there are guys breaking down every play over and over. So these guys that you're talking about, the Mayocks, the McShays, and McKipers, and
Yep.
Mick everybody.
McBurglar.
Yeah, the whole
The Hamburglar.
the Hamburglar. I prefer Grimace. Is the
That's a good reference.
They're watching all the film. We saw 2 games of some dude. Maybe they've seen every play of some dude 4 times.
Where they run into problems, Eric, is they see it in a vacuum. They see the guy, and it's hard for them to project, I believe, just to project how it will still play out at the next level. Because the college game is not the NFL game.
Right.
It's just not the NFL game.
Yeah.
And they're projecting their view of the guy, and it's hard to translate. It's not unlike prospects, Benjamin, where a guy dominates Double A, and
Right.
he can't get anyone out in the big leagues.
I'm going to tell you 2 stories
Okay.
about when it comes to the things that McShay and Kiper and so on and so forth do. I've known Charlie Casserly for a long time.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I know him a
Great
little
guy.
bit.
He comes to Broncos training camp every year. So he and I built a relationship. He's not a great friend or anything like that, but we talk football. I said, how do you evaluate guys? He said, the only true way to evaluate a guy is to actually physically be there at the game and on the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's the only way to really do it.
Okay.
Okay? So McShay, I don't know if he has a press pass.
Right.
I don't know if Kiper has a press pass. And I do understand that Mayock used to be in a front office. But what Casserly told me was, you need to actually be there.
Okay.
Chad Brown on the show yesterday said, when he was playing for CU, he suffered an injury. The Pittsburgh Steelers went out to see him. They knew he was injured. They saw him practicing,
Right.
knowing he had this injury, and said, this dude is tough, and this is a guy we want to take a serious look at.
Yeah.
That's how you evaluate, not sitting in your mother's basement with a remote control.
Well-
And that's why so many of these guys miss. Let me give you a good example.
Okay.
Remember the Noshan Moreno draft?
Yeah.
Where the Broncos had 2 picks?
Right.
You might be stunned to learn that in Mike Mayock's top 4,
Okay.
number 3 was Noshan Moreno and number 4 was Robert Ayers.
Overall.
Overall, how did that work out?
Not as well as he would have liked.
And the reason why I bring up Mayock is this. I don't know if he's looking for attention or he really believes it. He just put Mariota ahead of Winston.
Character issues, maybe.
I don't know.
That's interesting. I don't think he's just trying to get clicks. I mean, you put.
Yeah.
I mean, you put your name on it. People are always going to say, "Well, you said that." I mean, now he's the guy forever. Maybe a little hyperbole here, but he's the guy forever. That's the one guy who said Mariota would be better than Winston. And if Winston ends up being awesome and Mariota's just okay, Max, what's the phrase? Made his bed with that. Is that a phrase?
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Made his bed with that. Yeah, I think that's an old baseball phrase. Made your bed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put in the work, Eric. I appreciate the way they look at it. It's just it's hard as what you just said with Casserly, to project then how it will play out at the next level. You don't know their work ethic as well as you'd like, especially on all these guys. You don't know how the money's going to affect them.
Right.
You don't know how being in a locker room with a bunch of 30-year-old men is going to. I mean, those are the things you don't know. And in the NFL, having covered it again last year, it's just the talent is so supreme.
Right.
And guys who don't have that drive, they just flush out.
Jamarcus Russell's probably the most famous example.
They flush out immediately. And the quarterback, the one that when I did the Pro Football Focus, part of that was the motivation for other stories. Is what's most fascinating to me in the NFL. What is the most high-profile position in sports nowadays?
The quarterback.
NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
And the NFL has how many good NFL quarterbacks?
12.
12.
Yeah.
In a society that loves football, it's by far the most popular sport. They cannot produce consistently churn out players for this position.
Right.
And why? Why is that? It's because now the college game does the exact opposite. It does not prepare them for the NFL game. The spread offense is the worst thing to ever happen to the NFL in terms of trying to produce quarterbacks.
Sure.
All right, that segment is brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports. If you're looking for the original motorcycle, talking about the Indian motorcycle, there's our main man, Heath, on his 2015 Indian Chieftain. Go check out Grand Prix Motorsports off of County Line Road and
Santa Fe.